Hello everyone. Very good morning. If I'm audible, please do respond in the chat box. Guys, I want you people to respond in the chat box. Okay, great. I hope you people are aware of the institution name. And today happens to be the software testing. Software testing. Don't you think it happens to be day one demo class? Software testing, day one demo class. Okay, great. Just because the timings happens to be morning slot, I know many of them would have not attended the classes. Why? Because their mentality will be like, okay, let me join the batch later. Anyhow, this fellow is going to provide the recorded video after the class. Instead of waking up early in the morning, later we'll go through the video. Guys, if you have that mindset, nobody can change your lifestyle, is what I can tell. Okay, let me just do one thing. Let me just continue with the classes. I hope you people are able to see the screen. Are you able to see the screen? Yes. Okay. Let's do one thing. Let me just come back to the OneNote. In this particular OneNote, what I'll do before me starting with the OneNote, fine. I want you people to have a clear picture about what is software testing, fine, and the roadmap of software testing. Why? Because this is very important, guys. Guys, now one I'm telling, when it comes to software testing, fine. Who can learn software testing? Why software testing? If you ask me, it is pretty simple. Let me just do one thing. When it comes to criteria to learn software testing, there is no criteria. No one I'm telling, there is no criteria. Because many of them will be having that assumption. Sir, I want to have this knowledge, that knowledge. No, everything from scratch we will teach. That is the reason you will be paying the amount, right? That is the reason you will be joining the course, right? Fine. Guys, there is no criteria to learn software testing. If you are a 6 sem student, or if you are a 8 sem student, or you might be any other semester, it doesn't matter. Maybe 4 sem, whatever it will be fine. I'm just telling you might be a engineering graduate, or you might be an engineering student, you might be a BCom, whatever it may be fine. And the main concern, fine, you are a 2021 passed out, 2020 passed out, 2019 passed out, 2018 passed out, or it might be 2017 passed out as well. But you're working in non-technical domain, or you might be jobless. It might be anything, fine. For such people, or for any such category of people, hate is a wrong term, but let me take that, fine. If you hate pure programming, or if you hate pure coding, if you hate coding, pure coding, fine, or if you hate the pure development, at that point of time, trust me, testing is the best go. Software testing is the best go for you people. Now, okay, sir, what things you'll be covering in this particular software testing, sir? Guys, now I'm telling when it comes to software testing, just observe properly so that you'll get some clarity. When it comes to software testing, what I'll be covering, if you ask me, yes, it doesn't mean that in software testing, testing will not come. Sorry, what is that? Coding will not be there. 100% coding will be there, but a basic amount of coding will be. That's it. And that too, it's not too difficult to learn. Fine. When it comes to software testing, the main part I'll tell you guys. The main part later, I'll give you the roadmap. Everything I'll give you. Fine. What are the things that you'll be learning in this course? Everything I'll tell you. The first thing that you will be learning, or using what the core you will be getting a job, if you ask me, manual testing. Why many of the people will be learning software testing? Because it is easy to get a job, as well as when it comes to the package of software test engineer in the industry, it would be same as a developer, and growth is also same. Why? Because For every two developers in the company, one software test engineer is must and should. And if you learn around 40 hours of content is what I'll be doing for manual testing. Fine. I'll just tell plus or minus 2 hours might happen. Using manual testing as well as using your database knowledge. Using your database knowledge. Guys, database means what? SQL. Will you agree with my point? Using this manual testing as well as database knowledge. I'll just tell 40 hours. Trust me, you can get a job as a manual test engineer. You can get a job as a manual test engineer. Manual test engineer. If you get a job as a manual test engineer, trust me, your pay package will be, as a fresher, it will be 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs per annum. That will be the bracket that will be coming. 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs per annum. That's the reason many people will learn software testing, where they can learn manual testing and they can get a job as a manual test engineer. But always, I would not recommend this approach. Why? Because anyhow, going ahead, assume that now after learning manual testing SQL, you might be getting a job as a manual test engineer. But 100% after 2 years, your company or you might be forced to update yourself in the field of automation testing. Now I'm telling you, you'll be forced to learn automation testing. That's the reason before getting an entry into the IT industry, you be aware of automation testing. Either you might get a job as a manual test engineer. Worst case, you have to go for that particular job role. But I'm not saying it's not good. But if you get a job as an automation test engineer, fine. When it comes to automation testing, I'll be teaching around 60 hours of content. That is maximum. Fine. Why? Because within this only you'll be learning. You'll be able to automate everything. Sir, what I'll be learning, sir? You'll be learning a tool called as Selenium. You'll be learning a tool called as Selenium. If you learn Selenium, that is automation tool. Before learning Selenium, there is a criteria. Now I'm telling you, Selenium is just a tool. Selenium is just a tool. Sir, what you're trying to teach, sir? Guys, you tell me. What I can tell you. Let's take like this so that you'll be able to understand. You want to interact with Sandesh. You want to interact with Sandesh. Sandesh is just a human being. Sandesh is just an entity. Fine. Now you please tell me if assume that. I know a couple of languages. I'll understand. But if you want to interact with Sandesh, either you have to interact in Kannada or you have to interact in English. I'm just saying an example. I'm just saying an example. Why? Because a person called a Sandesh will be aware of only Kannada and English. Fine. At that point of time, you have to speak or you have to interact with Sandesh in Kannada as well as English. Although Sandesh might be aware, these are the two famous language that he is aware of completely, fluently. Like that, whenever you want to execute something or automate something using Selenium, either you have to use Java programming language or you have to use Python programming language. That's it. Is that fine? Yes, I hope you people are able to understand. Are you getting the clarity? Yes, I want that clarity from your side. Please do respond. Are you getting the clarity? Guys, when it comes to development and all, you need to learn 400 plus hours content. But when it comes to testing, you need not to learn 400 hours. Maybe if you learn around some 250 to 300 hours, easily you'll be getting a job as a fresher. Fine. Okay, great. Next. Sir, what you will be teaching, sir? When it comes to automation testing 60 hours, instead of 60 hours, I will tell 120 hours. Sir, why, sir? Suddenly you have written 60 hours to 120 hours. Why? Because when it comes to Selenium, learning Selenium, don't you think you should be aware of Java or Python? And you need not to be aware of complete end-to-end development Java. No, the basics of Java. I know many of them will teach 60 hours for in detail, but for me, 60 hours will be basics. Fine. Basics of Java is what I'll be teaching, which is required to learn Selenium. Is that fine? Similar, if you take up Java Selenium, you'll be learning 60 hours of Java. Similarly, if you take up Python, you'll be learning 60 hours of Python. Guys, now I'm telling you, it doesn't mean that you'll be learning Selenium in two languages, including both Java and Python. I'll be doing 60 hours. No. If you take up Selenium, either Java Selenium you have to choose, or you have to choose Python Selenium. That's it. Fine. At that point of time, you'll be learning Java for 60 hours, or you'll be learning Python for 60 hours. After learning Java or Python only, I'll be starting with Selenium. And Selenium will be for 60 hours, as I told. But now I'm telling it will be in between 60 to 80 hours this time. Now I'm telling this time it will be 60 to 80 hours. That's the reason. Approximately, I can tell 122, 122, 160 hours. Is that fine? Why? Because this time I'm planning to give time in between the class to write down the notes, everything. Guys, why? Because I don't know whether you have observed or not. It might be in your college or it might be in anywhere else. Fine. When it comes to teaching, how it will be conducted, if you ask me, teacher will, that means teacher or trainer, whatever it will be, fine. He'll teach some topic. Next, he will give time to write the notes in between the class. But when it comes to my teaching methodology, what I used to do previously, if it is so important, then I used to give some time. If not, I used to give the notes. Now also I'll be giving the notes, it doesn't matter. But only for the starting 6 days, only for the starting 6 days, I'll not be giving the time to write the notes. But going ahead, the complete notes I can't give the time. Why? Because somebody might take 20 minutes, somebody might take 10 minutes. But I know how to manage and how to make sure that you'll be writing the notes in the class itself. Almost 60 to 70% of the notes you'll be writing in the class itself. That's the reason the duration will be 60 to 80 hours, and 120 to 160 hours is what I have written. Now, if you want to get a job, if you want to get a job as automation test engineer, assume that you want to get a job as an automation test engineer in any of the company. At that point of time, your pay package will be, I can write on average, but let me write, this is what as a fresher you'll be getting, 4 to 6 lakhs per annum. It will be slightly more than developer. Trust me, trust me. Why? Because being a test engineer is not a joke. That means being a test engineer is not a normal job. Because testing means you have to identify somebody else's mistake. Fine, that's the reason. Now, if you want to become automation test engineer, they will be asking the question on this particular technology as well. They might be front end technology. Don't you think front end technology will be taught for around 30 to 40 hours? Let me just tell 30 to 40 hours, I will tell. 30 to 40 hours. I think it will be 100% 40 hours. It's not what I can tell. 30 hours. Okay. Now, if you learn this, trust me, easily you can get a job. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear? But nowadays, what's happening, if you ask me, nowadays, not 4 years, 5 years back. 5 years back, if you know manual testing, if you know automation testing, directly they used to give you a job. Nowadays, what people are doing, for test engineer also, they are conducting one level of programming round just to check your basic knowledge. Because it will not be very difficult programming language like development interview. But programming round will be compulsory, it will be there. It might be for a fresher or it might be for an experienced candidate. Majority of the companies are conducting programming round. That is the reason you will be learning programming. Fine. That means whichever the language that you have chosen to learn Selenium, it might be Java or Python. Based upon that, you'll be learning programming for about 30 to 40 hours. So that everything will be covered. Is that clear, guys? Please do respond. And similarly, aptitude will be covered. Aptitude, which will be for 80 hours. 80 hours. Now, I hope you are getting the clarity. Guys, are you getting the clarity? Because I want you to respond in the chat box. Are you getting the clarity? Just trust me, this is pretty simple when compared to development. Easily you can get a job. And when it comes to placement preparation, placement activities, it will be conducted for around 20 hours, like mock interview, all those stuff. Okay. Now, this particular software testing will be concluded for sure within 4 months. Is that fine? Is that clear for everyone? But the main thing is, you people should be very dedicated. That's it. Okay, is that clear, guys? I hope you got the clarity, right? I hope you got the clarity. Guys, and one more thing I wanted you to tell. When it comes to software testing, these are not the only job. These are not the only job. You might be, but that is different. Fine. Going ahead, as a fresher, it is difficult to get a job. You can become fine if you maybe yes, 100%. I think I forgot to write this. Fine. You can become database test engineer as well. You can become database test engineer as well. Database test engineer. For DBA test engineer also, the package will be 3 to 5 lakhs per annum. For DBA test engineer, you should be aware of Selenium and SQL. You should be aware of Selenium and SQL. At that point of time, you will become DBA test engineer. That means you will be playing around with the data using your Selenium knowledge. Is that fine? And going ahead, so many job roles is there like mobile testing, fine, mobile testing. Next, API testing like this. So many job will come. But as of now, as a fresher, no need to concentrate on this. Fine, and it will be very not difficult. You will not be getting a job as a fresher in that particular domain. That's the reason you please concentrate on this. Is what I want from your side. You might get a job as a manual test engineer, go ahead. If you get a job as a database engineer, go ahead. But I want you to aim for becoming an automation test engineer who is aware of Selenium. Is that clear, guys? I hope it's clear for everyone. Please do respond. Is that clear? Okay. Now, when it comes to the timings, please tell me what is the timings of the class? I hope you people are aware of this, right? What is the timings of this class? It will be a fixed time. Now I'm telling. Now only for the demo class, it will be from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. But once after six demo classes gets over, fine. The fixed time will be 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Many of them were asking, sir, please conduct it in the evening slot, sir. Already I am occupied in my evening slot. Fine, because I hope you people might be aware or might not be aware. I'm taking a Python full stack batch from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. That's the reason I'm completely occupied in that particular slot. Okay. Shall I proceed further? Let's please do respond. Shall I proceed further? I hope you got some basic level of clarity, right? I hope. Okay. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this. If you want. If you want, you can take the screenshot of this. Okay, great. Let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Let me just start with the technical topic. As many of them will be having the confusion, that's the reason I have just given the roadmap. A basic roadmap is what I have given. Now, when it comes to demo class, what I will do, if you ask me, initial 4 days, I'll be doing manual testing. I'll be doing manual testing. Next 2 days, I'll be showing you the glimpse of automation testing. Or 1 day or 2 day, I'll be giving you the glimpse about automation testing. Is that fine? It doesn't mean that I can start off with automation testing. No. In order to understand automation testing, you should be aware of some of the basics of languages that you people are not aware. That's the reason. First of all, I would like to start with the guys. Demo class means it's not that something and all I will do just to attract. No, it's a normal class. But the only thing is you need not to pay a single rupee for that. That's it. Okay, is that clear, guys? Shall I proceed further? Please do respond. Maybe if you could respond, I can just proceed further. Okay, great. When it comes to software testing, first of all, I want you people to have a complete picture about what kind of company you want to join. Yes, you might be joining as a developer or you might be joining as a test engineer. It doesn't matter. But first of all, don't you think you should be having a clarity about yourself? You should be having a clarity about yourself. For which company I'll be working? Sir, all those criteria we don't have, sir. If we get a job, that is more than sufficient, sir. I think many of them will be having that mindset. That's fine, no issues. But at least have some basic clarity about what kind of companies are there in the IT industry, and for which company you have to join, for which company you should not join. As a fresher, guys, when it comes to, I'm not saying this company should not join, this company should not join. No, I'll never tell that way, because every company will be having pros and cons. Fine. But as a fresher, don't have a restriction for yourself. Even though if it is a startup where only three employees are there, just go and work. You'll get some exposure, fine. And if it is a mid-range company, if it is a MNC, it doesn't matter. Please go and start your career, fine. And if the salary is initially 10,000 per month, 15,000 per month, just go and work. If you feel the job role is proper, if you feel the job role is good, fine, just go and work. Now, sir, why you're telling all these things, sir? When it comes to software companies, fine, that is IT companies, fine. Please tell me, please tell me, IT companies are categorized as like this, sir. What, sir? How it has been categorized, sir? Please tell me. First comes MNC, yes or no in the chat box. First comes MNC. Sir, what do you mean by MNC, sir? Multinational company. If the company is having the branch across the globe, then it is called as multinational company. That's it. Is that fine? For example, EY, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, SAP, Google, Amazon, Flipkart, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, all those companies are MNCs, the two top MNCs. Is that fine? Next, after MNC, mid-range company, mid-range company. After mid-range, startup. These are the three categories that are there in the IT industry. Fine. As a fresher, you please start your career in any of these companies. It doesn't matter. But ultimately, what I would suggest for somebody after 5 years, at least before 5 years, please settle yourself in MNC. That's what I would like to tell. Is that fine? Why? Because why MNC? I will tell you guys. You will not be having too much of pressure. Trust me. But you will be having slight pressure in startup, mid-range. Why? Because they have to extract the work, right. But when it comes to MNC, so many employees will be there. They'll not give that much of pressure. But as a fresher, you don't have any barrier for yourself. Fine. Now, you got to know that when it comes to software companies, there are three categories. There are three, what I can tell, subcategories that will come. Now, you should tell me how many types of software companies are there? How many types of software companies are there? Guys, I want people to respond in the chat box. If you don't speak up, trust me, you'll never understand. How many types of software companies are there? Guys, whatever I have written, categories. Above whatever I have written, it's a category. And I'll just tell categories. Categories of software companies. Today there are three categories. MNC, that is multinational company. If you want, I can just tell multinational company. I hope I need not to give the example for that. Multinational companies or company, mid-range company, and startup company. Fine. Okay. Types of software companies. How many types are there? Any idea for anyone? How many types of software companies are there? Trust me. Again, here also there are three types. Again, here also there are three types of software companies. Okay, sir, which are those three types of software companies, sir? If you ask me, first one, I think many of them might be aware of this. That's the reason I'm asking. Don't you think? Don't you think? First one happens to be. Have you heard about service-based company? Service-based company. Yes or no in the chat box. Have you heard about service-based? Have you heard about product-based? Product-based company. I hope you people might have heard about service-based company as well as product-based company. Next, few companies will work as service-based as well as they will be working as a product-based. For such company, we will call it as hybrid companies. Hybrid company. Sir, best example, sir. Infosys is a service-based as well as product-based. Is that fine? Yes, please do respond in the chat box. Okay. Now I would like to display one diagram. Let's see how many of them will be able to understand this. Just tell me, are you able to cope up with this diagram, whatever I'm going to display? So because I don't want to waste your time in writing the diagram, that's the reason. Directly I'll paste it and I'll start explaining that. I know many people are joining now. I know you just woke up now and directly you might be attending the class. I just don't do that. Fine. Means attend the class. I'm not saying don't attend the class. But what I'm saying is at least just have that what I can tell basic discipline of waking up early and joining the class on time. Okay. Now observe properly whatever I have written. When it comes to software companies, there are two main categories: service-based company, product-based company. Whatever the answer that you told is absolutely correct. When it comes to service-based company, how it will work. When it comes to product-based company, how it will work. If you ask me, I will tell you. Don't worry. First, requirement should be given by the customer or client. Assume that he is the customer or client, or he or she, whatever it will be. Fine. Assume that Kotak Mahindra Bank will be a customer. Fine. Simply, I have just taken an example. Fine. They'll be giving their requirement to one service-based company. As a service-based company, what they will do, if you ask me, they will collect the requirement of a customer, irrespective of whoever may be the customer. They will collect the requirement. In order to collect the requirement in the industry, we'll have a separate category of people called as business analyst or product analyst (BA). Next, understand the requirement. Once they understood the requirement, so many things will happen when it comes to understanding the requirement. Next, build or develop the software. Next, test the software. Why I have written this, if you ask me, you have to understand four steps will come when it comes to software industry. It might be service based or it might be product based. Third step is development. Fourth step is compulsory testing. Compulsory testing. Before testing, they will never deliver the software. Once testing the software is done, then only the software will be delivered to the customer. This is how the service-based company will work. Somebody will give the requirement. Based upon that requirement, you have to work, you have to develop, you have to test, you have to deliver. But product-based companies are not like that. What they will do, they'll not wait for somebody else to give the requirement. Rather, they will survey the market and they will gather the requirement and they will understand the requirement, they will build and they will test. Guys, best example, anybody told for Book My Show company, I want a software like Book My Show, please develop. No. What they did the survey in the market, they understood, okay, people are facing some problem in booking a ticket. They just came up with the requirement, they gathered the requirement, they understood the requirement, they built their own product, they tested their own product, they released to the market. See here, delivered the software to the market. Market means not care market and all, maybe the the common word, fine. They will release the product to the market. If people likes that, they'll start purchasing the product. That's it. Is that fine? Let's please do respond. I hope you're able to understand from which perspective I'm talking, right? Yes, are you able to understand that? That's pretty simple. Please do respond. Are you able to understand? Okay. Okay. Cool. Now I want you people to provide the attendance. Why? Because now only I take. Okay, just a minute. As I hope you people are able to see in the chat box, right? I have just pinged a link. If you click on that link, okay, just do provide your attendance, everyone. Just your name, phone number, as well as any queries if you have, you can just mention there. If you have any sort of queries, I want everyone to provide the attendance now itself. No one I'm telling. Please do provide the attendance without miss. Okay, I'll be waiting for 1 minute so that let's wait everyone. Let them give the attendance. Okay, hope that you have provided your attendance. Listen properly. Guys, when it comes to service based, also testing is there, product based, also testing is there, development is there. I hope you understood how the basic level of service based and product based will work. Best example of service based company: Infosys, Wipro, Accenture, TCS, Capgemini, HCL, like this. So many companies will come when it comes to service based. Similarly, product based: Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Mercedes, Infosys, TCS, like this. So many product based companies will come. Sir, what's a hybrid company? Few companies will be working as both service based and product based. Infosys, TCS, like this, many companies will come. For such company, we'll call it as a hybrid company. Sir, what are the software that are developed using service based and product based? Sir, the service based, many of the banking software that are available has been developed by product based company. But don't you think for that particular banking software, service will be provided by service based company? Many of the hospital related software might be developed by service based company or product based company, but service will be provided by service based. Hotel related software, like there's so many softwares will come, but product based company. WhatsApp is a product, pure product based company. And who knows, WhatsApp might be approaching one service based company to maintain their data, to provide the service for WhatsApp. Because I hope you're able to understand how product based company and service based companies are interlinked. Zoom is a product of product based company, and who knows, the Zoom company might approach as a customer. Zoom will approach as a customer to any service, chota service based company to provide their to provide the support for the Zoom. Amazon is the best example of product based company. Product. Google is a product. Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, all those things will come under a product of product based company. Book my show. Like this, so many things will come. Okay, shall I proceed further? Yes, please do respond. Shall I proceed further? I want you to respond in the chat box. Okay, great. Now observe properly. I have written few important note points. Just know whatever you have learned, I have just written as a note point. That's it. Okay, let me just remove all these things. Okay, instead of in case, in case. Okay. Now observe properly. Still Times New Roman. Next here, I would like to consider 18. I will tell. Yep. The company which works like both service based and product based is only referred as hybrid company. I hope everybody are able to understand what is the meaning of hybrid company. Yes or no? Sorry, people able to understand what is the meaning of hybrid company? Okay. Assume that if you want to work in different domains, fine, you want to work in different domains, then go with service based company. In future, I'm saying, guys, you might settle in product based or you might settle in service based. It doesn't matter. But because it doesn't mean that nobody will settle in service based, nobody will settle in product based. No, nothing like that. Fine. Try to settle in MNC after 5 years. That's what I would like to tell for everyone. Within 5 years, try to be settled in MNC. Guys, trust me, I started my journey in startup. I went through mid-range company. Now I'm working in a top MNC. That's the reason I'll be able to tell. That's correct, right? Because always I'll prefer this approach. If you experience that in your life, then you can guide or then you can tell for somebody. If you're a normal teacher who have not crossed your college border, then if you are telling join MNC, join that particular project like that, the project will be there. Then what is the use? You haven't worked on any of the real-time project. If you're talking about project, it doesn't mean anything, right? So I hope you're able to understand. Okay, let me just come down. That's the reason people will see the difference in teaching when I'm teaching. Fine. Yep. Let me just come down. See here, if you want to work in different domain, then you just go with service-based company. But if you want to work in one domain and master the domain, for example, if you join as a Java developer, until you leave the company, you will be working as a Java developer or manager in that particular domain. But service-based company is not like that. For example, you will join as a Java developer. They might tell you to work on a Python for the next project. Fine. Why? Because product-based company will be having a product for a longer run, longer duration. Service-based company is not like that. Maybe after every 1 year, 2 year, the project might change. I don't want to. They might be telling you to learn few things. Fine. That's pure up to your wish, guys. Fine. Either service-based company or product-based company. Just see what is the job role. Just see what is the package that they're offering. Based upon that, just switch your job. Is what I would like to tell for everyone. Is that fine? And in case of service-based company, the software will be developed as per the customer requirement. In case of product-based company, the software will be developed based upon the market requirement. And who will do the market? Who will gather the market requirement? Product-based company will only gather. And who will provide the requirement? Customer or client will provide the requirement. This is very important. You have to be aware of this. Now, sir, what, sir? You told requirement. You told requirement. What is the requirement, sir? What is requirement, sir? As you tell me, requirement can be given in any. What is the meaning of requirement? If somebody is asking what is requirement, basic requirement, what is your answer? Don't you think it's a necessity or need of a customer? Will you agree with my point? Requirement is nothing but a necessity or a need of a customer. Yes or no? That's what requirement, right? For that only we'll call it as a requirement, right? As if somebody is asking, what do you mean by requirement? Your answer should be pretty simple. Just correct me if I'm wrong. It's a necessity or need of a customer. And one more very important thing you have to remember, requirement can be given in three ways. How many ways? Three ways. In high level language, people will give the requirement. Few people might be giving the requirement in the diagrammatical manner. Why? Because they'll not be aware of high level language and all. Fine, they'll be giving it the requirement in diagrammatical manner. You have to understand the requirement as a company person. Few people will be giving the requirement in mathematical equation format. Mathematical equation means, see, this is what my company is. Maybe some 200 employees are there, fine. And in that particular 200 employees, you just minus 40 employees will be lecturers. Like that, they might be giving some requirement in the mathematical format. According to that, you have to develop the software. Is that fine? As once again, I'll be asking, please tell me, what do you mean by requirement? Ping in the chat. What do you mean by requirement? Guys, trust me, manual testing is bit theory. Now only I'm telling manual testing is bit theory, but it is very easy to understand. Trust me, it is very easy to understand. Okay, very good. Requirement means it's just a need, it's just a necessity of a customer. There are three ways wherein which you can provide the requirement. Because no one I'm telling, just for comedy's sake, I'll be including one diagram. Fine, you should never tell this diagram or you should never express this in the interview panel. Is that fine? Just for your reference so that you can remember how many ways are there when it comes to requirement. I'm just giving this diagram. Please don't tell this the diagram in the or don't speak about this in the interview. Okay, it will not look nice. Just for your reference, I'm just giving. See, assume that our one boy is there called as Subbu. Fine, he want to express his requirement to Anupama. At that point of time, either he can represent in the form of high level language. How, sir? Maybe he can just write a letter saying that Subbu loves Anupama. It's a high level, very human understandable language. He can write like this. Or in the diagrammatical manner also, he can represent like this. Maybe in a sheet of paper, if he is writing a heart like this, some arrow, fine, and if he is writing Subbu left side, Anupama right side, that will be the diagrammatical manner. That means it's a requirement of Subbu towards Anupama. Similarly, he can represent like this in the mathematical equation, like 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. If you people are thinking like, sir, how come 1 plus 1 will become 3? Okay, nothing can be done. Let's proceed further. Just for your reference, I have given. You should not concentrate on the left hand side, whatever I have written. Just concentrate on the right hand side. High level language, diagrammatical manner, mathematical equation. In any of this format, the requirement will be given to the company. Is that clear for everyone? Yes or no in the chat box. Guys, I want a very quick response from your side. I don't know why few people are not responding in the chat box. Is that clear? Guys, are you able to understand? Please do respond. Are you able to understand whatever I'm trying to convey? Okay, okay, great. Now, what you have to observe, if you ask me, a quick history of testing is what I would like to tell. A quick history of testing. I'll not waste much of your time. Guys, from 1960s onwards, don't you think the programming language, everything came into existence? Will you agree with my point? I think if you have attended my development classes, I used to have given the clarity. Don't you think high level language has been invented from the year 1960s? That's when the high level language came into existence. Since then, development used to happen. But plus initially development was not there. From 1960s to 1980s, development was not there. The person one who used to develop the software, he used to test the software and he used to deliver the software. But later what happened? Company revenue got decreased and customer were not satisfied with the developed software. Why, sir? Why? Because you tell me, guys, if you develop something, you are completely aware of some mistake might be there in that, but you will never agree. Will you agree with my point? Yes or no? Yes, please do respond. Yes or no? That's a human mentality, right? It's not a developer mentality. That's a human mentality. Yes, for example, I'm taking 1 hour of class. Assume that I'm taking 1 hour of class. I'm just developing the content. I'm just developing the content. Fine, I'm just developing the content. Until somebody else test my content, I'll not get to know my mistake. Will you agree with my point? Until somebody monitors the 1 hour and somebody is telling Sandesh, no Sandesh, this is wrong. Whatever you told, this is wrong. This is right. Until somebody test, I'll not be having the clarity. That means I know. Sometimes I'll be aware of the mistake that I have committed. I might cover. Sometimes I'll not be aware of the mistake that I have committed. I hope you're able to understand. Same thing. The person one who developed the software used to test the software, but later from 1980s, because of so many reasons, fine. Sir, what are the reasons, sir? I will tell you what are the reasons. From 1980s onwards, testing domain came into existence. Is that fine? That's what you have to understand. Sir, then who is the father of testing, sir? Guys, there is no such huge history for testing. No one I'm telling, there is no huge history for testing. Who invented testing, if you ask me? Watts Humphrey. Is that fine? He is the father of testing. Watts Humphrey is the father of testing. And from 1980s, they used to start testing the software. Is that clear for everyone? Please do respond in the chat box. Is that clear for everyone? Okay, okay. Now I'll just do one thing. I will write the importance of testing. I'll write the importance of testing. Okay, sir. What is the importance of testing, sir? Because it is pretty simple. Why testing came into existence? That's the importance of testing. That's it. Nothing else. Why, sir? Why testing came into existence, sir? First, very important point, to avoid error masking done by developer. What is error masking? I'll teach you. Because error masking is nothing but a process of hiding the error in the test case table. In the test case table, what is test case table? I will teach you. Don't worry. By developer. If the developer develops the software, why they used to hide the error? Why they used to hide the error? Also, I will tell you. But in order to overcome error masking that has been done by developer, testing came into existence. That's a very important point. That is the main intention that they started testing domain. As a developer, they will never used to tell their mistake. Simply they used to deliver the software, even though they are aware of the mistake by doing error masking. Fine. Second one, to identify the error that is developed software, that is to identify the error in the developed software by the developer, to improve the quality. Trust me, if you test something, 100% you can improve the quality. Is that clear? That's first one, to avoid error masking, to identify the error, to improve the quality, which in turn improves the business of the company. Because of this, testing came into existence. Like this, so many points are there, but I have just written few important points. What is error masking and what is testing? Everything I'll teach you. Don't worry about that. But as of now, just concentrate on whatever I have written here. Okay. What is testing? If somebody is asking, basic meaning of testing, checking whether the software meets customer requirement or not. That's it. Whatever the software that has been developed by the developer, whether it meets customer requirement or not, is only nothing but testing. Is that clear? Now, I would like to display few diagrams. Let's see how many of them will be able to understand the diagram, whatever I'll be writing. First diagram, first diagram. Sir, what diagram, sir? Yes, it's a pretty simple diagram. Now, what I'm telling. That means you should understand how the testing process, how the development process will happen. That's the reason I have just written this diagram. Just give me a minute. Where is the diagram? Yep, it is there. Okay. Please tell me, are you people able to see this diagram? Yes or no in the chat box? Yes, I want everyone to respond very quickly. Are you able to see the diagram? Yes, I'll explain. You don't worry about that. I'll explain regarding what is that diagram. Everything I'll explain. Okay, let's come down. Let's come down. Observe properly when it comes to diagram. It is pretty simple, guys. 1960s. Fine. What used to happen? Assume that the name of a developer is Subbu, fine. One customer will come and he'll give the requirement C is equal to A plus B. Assume that this right side is not available. Assume that this right side is not available. In 1960, what they used to do, developer used to understand, develop, test, somehow fix, deliver the software. But as a developer, if the deadline crossed, don't you think he will neglect his errors? He will try to mask his errors. Why? Because he'll not be having a time. But because he took so much amount of time to develop the software, he doesn't have the time to test the software. That's the reason company revenue got reduced. Fine, customers were not happy. That's the reason what they did. Okay, let's do one thing. This developers, let them develop. That's it. Let them not involve in testing part. For that, we'll invent a new domain called as testing domain. That is when this testing domain came into existence. Assume that a customer will come and he'll give the requirement. Simply, I'm just saying, assume that the customer requirement is to develop a software which will take two input. If you provide those two input, it will provide the added result. As I know, nobody will be giving this requirement. Just to make sure that you'll understand, I have just written in the form of mathematical equations here. A plus B. If somebody is giving 10 plus 10, the output should be 20. In such a way, you have to develop the software. Assume that developer will understand the requirement. He will develop the software. Step number one, understand the requirement by developer. Meanwhile, as a test engineer, assume that Anupama is a test engineer. As a test engineer, they should also understand the requirement. Why, sir? Why? Because when the software is developed, they have to test the software. If they want to test the software, they should also understand the requirement. After testing the software, they should identify the error. Once they identify the error, fine, they have to report the error to the developer. Look at the process. Look at the process. Next, fifth step is report the error to the developer. As a developer, they will fix the error. Again, it will be sent to the test engineer. Again, they will retest the software for fixed error. We should not believe developer. Developer will tell software has been fixed, that is, error has been fixed. We should not believe. Again, we have to retest. Again, if the error exists, again report the error. Again, developer should fix. Again, it should come back. This process 567, 567, 567 will happen until error-free software will be delivered for the customer. Is that clear for everyone? Yes, please do respond. I hope you are able to understand, right, from which perspective I'm speaking. Until you deliver error-free software to the customer, this process will keep on happening. I hope you got the basic clarity about how development, how testing will happen in the industry. A basic clarity, that's it. A 10% clarity. I'm not asking you to understand 100% in a half an hour. I'm not a god. Fine, I'm not God. Trust me. To make sure that guys, that's what the mistake of many people. Sir, we have attended a 5-6 demo class, sir. In that particular 5-6 demo class, we didn't experience the advanced topics, sir. Plus, you tell me directly if I would have started with let's learn Selenium. Okay, I'll teach you how to install Selenium. Let's write the code. Selenium. Fine. I'll write a Java code. I hope you know already Java. If I would have started like this, do you think you will understand? It will be like the same old teaching that you have experienced from your childhood, right? Guys, many people will be addicted to that particular style of teaching, directly taking the topic without giving the introduction, without giving the basics of the topic. You got addicted, and you know that it is wrong approach. You will only scold for that approach. Again, you will only be asking, sir, why can't you teach in that approach? Let me stick on to my approach. If you are able to understand my approach, well and good. If not, that's up to your wish. As I hope you're able to understand the approach, whatever I'm following, right? Are you able to understand? From scratch to the next level is what I'll be teaching. And I'll not come to a conclusion that this person is aware of this, that person is aware of that particular topic. No. For me, everybody are equal. Everybody are equal. From scratch, I'm going to teach. Are you people able to understand this diagram? If it is yes, respond yes in the chat box. Why? Because another two diagram is there. Maybe if I display the diagram so that we can just halt technical discussion. Okay, okay. One person was asking, sir, what is error masking? Okay, don't worry, I'll show you what is error masking. As a developer, once you develop the software, fine. As a test engineer, they use maybe right now test engineer will prepare the test case, but previously developer used to prepare the test case. Why? Because they used to develop the software, right? How the test case used to look, if you ask me, you only observe how the test case used to look. As I want people to respond whether you are able to understand this diagram or not. Just give me a minute, guys. Just give me 1 minute. I don't know what happened for this. Where is the diagram? I think somewhere here I have saved as D2. Wait, wait, wait. Okay. Guys, just give me 1 minute so I can just crop and paste it. Crop, yeah. Save this, close. Okay, now let me just drag and drop where you'll be able to understand in a very better manner. Okay, observe. Let's assume that to develop the software, customer or the company would have given 30 days. Assume that developer has spent 25 days to develop the software. Last 5 days, he thought, okay, I'm a very good developer. Nothing goes wrong in my code. Let me keep only 5 days for development among 30 days. But what happens? Initially, he start giving the input. Assume that this is what the test case table. Serial number, input, expected output, actual output, what you got from that software, status. Fine. Now, A is equal to 1, B is equal to 1. If you are giving two input, guys, this testing is done by developer. Assume that developer is doing this testing. Fine. Expected output is 2. Assume the developer got 2. Developer was very happy. Yes, 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 I'm getting the output. That is the reason he wrote pass. A is equal to 100, B is equal to 100. Expected output 200. Actual output 200 is what he got. Developer was even more happy. Yes, see, it is working properly. He'll tell pass. Developer start giving A is equal to -1, B is equal to -1. Expected output is -2, but the output what it is coming is 0. Developer got completely shocked. Why the software is not working. Test case is failed. Next, 7 expected output 7, actual output 7, pass. Again, 1 minus 1, expected output was 0, but it is showing 2. Now, developer will spend for 5 days for testing only. Guys, I'm just showing, it doesn't mean that developer will take 5 days to test this particular dummy test cases. I'm just saying in general. Guys, now only if I show you the actual testing scenarios, you'll never be able to understand. Fine, that's the reason I'm just going with the basic approach. Developer somehow he will try to fix. He'll not be able to fix the software. Deadline came. Well, once you meet the deadline, customer will not agree with the extension of deadline. At any cost, you have to deliver the software. At that point of time, what this developer will do? Developer should give this particular test case document to the customer because customer should test the software. Now he will hide these two test cases. Technically, it is called as test case. Developer will hide or developer will mask the error what he got. Because customer might give this data or he might not give this data. Why I should get caught in front of customer? Let me hide this. This is only called as error masking. See here, error masking is a process of hiding the error from the test case table by developer. Is that clear for everyone? Let's please do respond. Is that clear? I want you to respond in the chat box. Is that clear? Let's please be very quick. Don't waste your time as well as my time. Please be very quick. Now, how this has been avoided? If you ask me how this has been avoided, once testing came into existence, it doesn't mean that errors only gone. No, errors used to be there in the software. Fine, but what happened? These developers used to have some fear. Sir, what kind of fear, sir? You only observe it. I'll teach you what kind of fear the developer used to have. Assume that the same 30 days is given for testing. The same 30 days is given for testing. See, the same 30 days is given for testing. Now, instead of giving 25 days for development, what they will tell developer, I know you have to take some time to test the software. Do one thing. You take only 15 days to develop the software. After developing, you please give it to test engineer. Test engineer will test. Assume that he will also identify two errors. Now I have written the updated version. Assume that initially this particular A is equal to 1, B is equal to 1. As a test engineer, he will see, okay, it is failing. He will see it is failing. Now, don't you think last 5 days will only be dedicated for development and testing activity? Yes or no? Once testing is done, maybe he might tell, or maybe during the testing only he can tell, right? During this 10 days only he can tell developer, see, your code is going wrong. We are not getting the proper desired output. Developer will have at least another 10 days to fix the software. Yes, I hope you are able to understand from which perspective I'm talking. Yes or no? Are you able to understand from which perspective I'm talking? Developer at least they will have minimum 5 to 10 days to fix the error. Once the error is fixed, again the test engineers will retest the software. Why? Because as a test engineer, we should never believe developer. He might be your chetty dost or he might be your close friend. You should never believe the developer. Is that fine? Guys, this is one very important thing that I'm telling for everyone. Don't believe developer. Don't trust them. Even though they are telling orally, "Hey, macha, that software will work. You need not to test that." Is that fine? Now, don't you think error masking has been avoided when testing came into existence? And they will identify the error that is developed by the software, that is developed by the developed software by the developer, to improve the quality, to improve the business. If there is no error, customer are happy, then the business will be improved. What is testing? Checking whether the software meets customer requirement or not is referred as testing. This is the standard definition. Actually, there are so many definitions in the internet. I'll be giving in the upcoming classes, but this is the standard definition. Fine. Testing the software developed by developer is also testing. But what exactly testing? Just checking whether the software meets customer requirement or not. That is what testing. Is that clear for everyone? Yes or no in the chat box? As I want you people to respond in the chat box. Is that clear? I want a very quick response from your side. Okay. Who is the father of testing? Who is the father of testing? Let's see how many of them will tell the answer. Who is the father of testing? Even though if you commit a spelling mistake, it doesn't matter. At least just give a try. Vats Humphrey. Oh, very good. Very good, Srinath. Very good. Vats Humphrey is a person who invented testing. Is that clear? Vats Humphrey is the person on who invented testing. Okay, one more very important thing. People are asking, sir, is it a certified course? 100% you will be getting a course completion certificate from my side. Is that clear? As it's a certified course, it's a job oriented certified course. Is that clear for everyone? That's what the question that I have shown in the what I can tell. Any queries? That's the reason. One more very important thing, sir. Job placements are the major concern in software testing. So guide me. Well, that's what I told you, right? For every two developers in the industry, they require one test engineer. But it doesn't mean that simply if you take up this course, you'll get a job. No. How efforts are coming from my side. If you also put the effort, then you'll get a job. Is that clear for everyone? The same amount of effort you should put. So same amount of effort means what, sir? Attend a class on a regular basis. That's the first effort that you can put from your side. Fine. Next, update your notes. Update your notes as of now. Once I start Java or Python, then please practice the things. Is that fine? And revision. Because if you don't do anything for yourself and if you expect some miracle to happen in your life, that will never gonna happen. Guys, don't you think if I'm taking the class from morning 6 to 6:30 to 7 or 6 to 7:30 going ahead, it's my effort. It is not your effort. Many people will be getting confused between the effort. Guys, you please tell me if you are attending the class. Guys, let me be very clear. Let me be very clear in this. Let's see how many of them are having the common sense. Fine. Guys, you please tell me. You will be attending the class. Sir, what class I'll be attending, sir? Let me just do one thing. Let me just go back to the whiteboard. Fine. Guys, when it comes to detailed roadmap, I'll just share the brochure. I hope already you would have gone through the brochure. If not, I hope everybody are there in the WhatsApp community that I have created. Are you there in WhatsApp community that I have created? Yes or no? If not, please do ping me. This is my WhatsApp number 8553531326. Last 1 minute or 2 minutes, I'm gonna halt a technical discussion. Fine, just listen properly. This is my number. You can just call me. Guys, now, plus later I'll maybe just go through the brochure. Again, we'll have a roadmap of testing course. I have just given the glimpse in the starting. That's it, nothing else. Please tell me if you attend, assume that 1 hour, 1.5 hour class, 1 hour, 30 minutes of class, fine. 6 to 7:30. Is it a student effort or trainer effort? How it should be considered? Is it an effort of student or trainer? Please tell me. Guys, now you should not tell both. That's absolutely correct, my dear. I'm not saying no, but majority of the effort is what I'm asking. Okay, you tell me, guys. If somebody is playing cricket, now you tell me, the person who told both. Virat Kohli is playing a cricket. Assume that India-Pakistan match is there. India-Pakistan match is there, or whatever may be the match. Fine. You will be the audience who will be sitting in the stadium, or you might be the audience who will be watching in the TV. Is it your effort or is it The players who are playing the cricket, it's their effort. Whose effort is that? Don't you think the players who are playing the cricket, your effort is to turn on the TV, or your effort is to visit the ground and see the match? That's it. Correct, right? Nothing much you have to do. Same thing when it comes to 1 hour, 30 minutes going ahead, whatever the class that I'll be taking. Although your effort is there, I'm not saying no, but and out of 100% effort, out of 100% effort, your effort will be 20%, will be considered as 20%. Just that you will be attending the class, that's it. Guys, if I'm delivering the proper content in front of you where you'll be able to understand, it's my effort. Yes or no? It's my effort to make the content look good or even proper what industry is expecting. Correct? It's a trainer effort. Same thing. Soon after the class or in between the class only, whenever you're writing the notes, that is your effort. Assume that whenever you're writing the notes, that's not my effort. If I'm writing the notes in front of you, that is my effort. You have to write the notes. Later, you have to practice. You have to practice. Now, until manual testing will be done, you need not to practice anything. Why? Because a few theoretical concepts will come. Fine. And once Java and Selenium will start, or Python or Selenium will start, you start practicing. The main thing, revision. Revision is the key. That's it. Fine. Then I think we are running out of time. Fine. We are running out of time. Tomorrow we'll meet. As when it comes to day one, are you people available in the WhatsApp community, whatever I have created? Yes or no? Why? Because give me half an hour time. The complete notes link will be sent in that WhatsApp community, whatever I have created. Okay. Fine then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you have any concern, please do call me or please do ping me in WhatsApp. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.